Hey again, besties, and welcome back to the channel. If you've been following my channel for a while, you already know that I have a very heavily modded Stardew Valley save right now. I'm always looking for ways to make my game more enjoyable, and I love adding mods that get rid of some of the minor annoyances I sometimes experience in the game. I have a lot of content to get through on my main save right now. I can always use a helping hand when it comes to convenience. While I've done several quality of life mod showcases on this channel, I'm constantly discovering new gems and finding deeper layers in some of the mods I already have. Today I'll be discussing 9 essential quality of life mods that have genuinely transformed how I play Stardew Valley. These mods tackle everything from inventory management and more building options to additional in-game tools and mechanics. Before we dive in, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I post videos every Thursday and Saturday. Now, let's get on to the mods. I love finding new tools that completely change the way I interact with my farm, and this mod is a cleverly practical one. Our fruit trees are only useful for one season, and wild trees just sit there for most of the year, giving you nothing but a little bit of sap every now and then. Other than felling our trees, isn't there another way to make use of our trees throughout the rest of the year? Well, additional tree equipments and Tap Giant Crops by Zombie Fire turns every single tree on my farm into a year-round productive powerhouse, and I'm so obsessed. This mod adds a set of new, brilliant equipment that you can place directly on your trees. We're talking about a tree bee house unlocked at farming level 3, which is basically a bee house modified to hang from your fruit trees, producing delicious honey every 4 days in every season except winter. Then there's the bird house once you reach forage level 8, where birds will periodically bring you random trinkets, forage, and even the occasional gemstone. I feel like I have my own little treasure chest attached to my oak trees. And for us mushroom lovers, the mushroom grower, which is also unlocked at foraging level 4, lets you plant spores on a tree to grow fungi even faster than regular mushroom logs, with no harm to the tree itself. But wait, there's more. The mod also allows you to place regular tappers on fruit trees, and my personal favorite, giant crops. Tapped fruit trees produce sap, which makes perfect sense, but tapped giant crops? They'll yield juice. I tapped a giant chi fruit, and I'm excited to see what I get from it. And if you have modded giant flowers, you can get honey from those too. This mod is so simple and opens up so many new possibilities in the game. I love that I can now look at my trees and giant fruits and say, I'm gonna tap that. It's practical and fun, and it makes every tree and every giant crop feel like an active part of my daily routine rather than just passive scenery. This next mod is an absolute banger for anyone who, like myself, loves the feeling of progression but isn't thrilled about the game's hard limits on certain buildings. I have a lot of farm animals at the moment. I have about 4 different barns, 3 coops, and a bunch of custom modded farm buildings, so having a larger silo isn't even a luxury for me anymore. It's an absolute necessity. That's why more upgrades by Omnitron instantly became one of my favorite quality of life additions. This brilliant mod adds 2 extra upgrade levels for your existing farm buildings, expanding their space and functionality in ways that just make sense. Let's start with my personal favorite, the silo. You can now upgrade it to hold significantly more hay, meaning fewer frantic grass harvesting trips and more time to actually enjoy things on my farm. Next up, the shed. With this mod, your humble shed can gain an extra room with its first upgrade, and then expand that very same room even further with a second upgrade. It's perfect for organizing all your artisan machines and storage chests. Upgrading my shed to Deluxe and Premium is definitely on my to-do list. And of course, for the animal lovers, the barn and coop get a fantastic boost. The first upgrade increases animal capacity to 16, and the second upgrade pushes it all the way to 20 animals. The coop also gains an extra incubator with its first upgrade, which is a dream for anyone trying to hatch a rainbow of chickens. The mod is fully configurable with the generic mod config menu, allowing you to adjust construction costs and materials to your liking. It's also compatible with Stardew Valley Expanded, though it's worth noting that upgrading through this mod won't unlock Stardew Valley Expanded's premium animals. You'll still need to build those separately. But for the sheer joy of finally having a massive, upgraded silo and a shed with actual rooms, this mod is an absolute essential for any serious farmer. So I've definitely discussed this mod before in a previous quality of life video, but I don't think I did this mod justice the first time. Lookup Anything by Pathos Child is so much more than a mod. It's a complete game changer that sits at the absolute core of my heavily modded playthrough. This mod literally saved me while figuring out which items went into which machines, while playing with Wildflower's auxiliary goods and visit Mount Vapius. I had absolutely no idea where to start with all the new artisan machines I added to my game until I utilized this mod. With Lookup Anything, I just point my cursor at the machine, press Ctrl and F1, and instantly see every single recipe it can make, including those for massive expansion mods. It shows me exactly what I need all on one page. It's like having all of the wikis to every single mod built directly into my game, saving me literal hours of guesswork and research. And it goes so far beyond just machines. Hover over any villager to see their loved gifts, check crops to see exactly when it'll be ready to harvest, or even look at your farm animals to find out why they're grumpy. There's even a progression mode that hides spoilers until you've discovered them naturally. If you want to search for something specific, just hit left shift plus F1 and type in the item, NPC, or building name. It works everywhere. In the world, your inventory, shops, the calendar, even the social menu. For anyone playing with a massive list of mods like I do, this isn't just a nice to have mod. It's an absolute essential tool that turns chaos into clarity and saves your sanity every single time. If you're a true culinary master in Stardew Valley, you know the struggle. You have a mini fridge for your eggs, another for your veggies, maybe a third just for your ever-growing collection of rare fish. But the standard fridge in your farmhouse and the tiny fridges you can get from Robin, they just fill up way too fast, leaving you shuffling ingredients between chests sometimes just to cook a simple omelet. The Big Fridge mod by Alan BF is a simple yet brilliant solution that turns your kitchen into its true chef's domain. This mod does two wonderful things. First, it upgrades the standard fridge in your farmhouse and on Ginger Island to hold a whopping 70 slots. That's the same capacity as a big chest. No more running out of room for your fresh produce. Second, it allows you to purchase additional big fridges from Robin's shop. You can unlock them after your second house upgrade, or even after the first upgrade if you've built up enough friendship with Robin, which you can configure to your liking via the generic mod config menu. These big fridges function just like their smaller counterparts, extending your kitchen storage network. And here's the feature I absolutely adore. It comes with a color picker for both mini fridges and big fridges. This means you can assign a specific color to each fridge, creating a beautifully organized and color-coordinated system. I have red fridges for my meat and eggs, yellow and orange ones for grains and spices, pink ones for fruits, and green ones for all of my veggies. You'll never have to guess where that elusive star fruit went again. It's a must-have mod for anyone who spends as much time in the kitchen as I do. And it's the perfect addition to our quality of life lineup. Speaking of overflowing storage, that big fridge is a lifesaver, but it actually reminded me of another space issue I've been having. One that involves my farm animals, crops, and random forage around the valley. You see, because I use the Deluxe Grabber Redux Fixes mod, my auto grabbers are constantly working overtime, pulling in crops, forage, and animal products from all over the place. It's incredible, but it also means those poor grabbers fill up almost instantly. that 36 space limit is simply not enough. The Bigger Auto Grabber mod by Raffia B, who is also the creator of Deluxe Grabber Redux fixes, really came in clutch for me. This mod massively expands the storage capacity of every auto grabber on your farm. No more frantic running back and forth to empty them out every 5 minutes. The best part is how incredibly configurable it is. Through the generic mod config menu, you can set the capacity anywhere from the vanilla 36 slots all the way up to a whopping 288 slots. That's 8 times the space. 288 slots is way too overpowered for me, so I just keep mine at a reasonable 96. The mod is designed to override the auto grabber's internal size, and it works with any auto grabber mod you have installed, including the Deluxe Auto Grabber Redux mod that I use. Now with both these mods working together, my auto grabbers can collect everything in one go, no matter how massive my harvest is, and I can spend my time exploring instead of managing inventory. Fruit Trees Reforged by Larvuk is a mod that I've gone over on this channel before, but after updating it and trying it out in my game again the other day, I realized just how many wonderful changes have been made to this mod since my last video. If you're the type of farmer that doesn't always remember to shake your fruit trees every few days, then this is definitely the mod for you. Fruit Trees Reforged, in my opinion, brings more value to the fruit trees you plant on your farm. With this mod installed, when you plant a fruit tree, it will now have the possibility to produce 2 to 4 fruits per day and can hold up to 12 fruits before you need to harvest it. Apricots, apples, peaches, pomegranates, and even many modded fruits have all been rebalanced to produce multiple fruits daily. It finally makes your orchard feel like a real investment. But that's just the beginning. The mod also adds a sapling incubator, a new artisan machine that finally lets you turn your harvested tree fruit into new saplings using the seed maker on your farm. Come on, you guys, you know you've tried it before. Larvuk saw you do it from under your bed. There's also a new fruit tree fertilizer to speed up growth, and the compatibility is wide-reaching. Fruit trees from Stardew Valley Expanded, Cornucopia, Ridgeside Village, Visit Mount Vapius, and Wildflowers Atelier Goods are all supported. There's also full compatibility with trees from the Growable Forage mod, and 2 new config options that make incubators and fertilizer easier to craft for those who want a significantly more relaxed experience. Everything is fully configurable through the generic mod config menu, so you could tweak everything to your heart's content. Honestly, this mod has grown so much since I last featured it, and it's more essential than ever for anyone who wants to get the most out of their fruit trees. This next mod doesn't add a new machine or any flashy visual effects to Stardew Valley. Instead, it adds something far more valuable: peace of mind. I recently added the Farm Helper mod by Aiden Thorne to my main save, and it has been an absolute game changer for maintaining my sprawling, chaotic farms. It's a relatively new addition, but its impact has been immediate for me. So, what does Farm Helper actually do? First and foremost, it solves that heartbreaking issue of planting a seed too late in the season. It's absolutely crushing to plant a seasonal seed only to realize later that the season changed and your crop withered into nothing. Farm Helper tells you exactly when it's too late in the season to plant a seed for a successful harvest. By default, it adds a label to those doomed seeds in your inventory, or optionally, you can have it prevent you from planting them altogether. This feature alone has saved me from wasting seeds in the season. But the mod doesn't just stop at the planting phase. It also makes a small change to your farmer's bedtime routine. Before you go to sleep at the end of the day, Farm Helper gives you a friendly reminder informing you about crops that still need watering or harvesting on your farm. And it will even nudge you about your animals, letting you know if any are still left outside or haven't been petted yet. For someone who is easily distracted by a shiny new expansion area or quests, having this silent partner watching my back has been an absolute lifesaver. This mod is for all of my fellow treasure hunters and adventure seekers out there. After you've cracked the final secret note in the vanilla game and completed that last journal scrap, did you get that bittersweet feeling? That sudden quiet in the valley where once there was always another mystery to solve? I know I did. I became absolutely addicted to that exciting feeling of finding a random scrap of paper while chopping wood, mining, or slaying monsters. So I found that More Secret Notes mod by Not a Gardener. It felt like Christmas morning all over again. This mod sprinkles a whole new collection of hidden notes throughout the valley for you to discover. And these aren't just copy-paste filler either. Each one is completely different, adding genuine value and experience to your late game routine. Some of them offer helpful hints for completing the community center if you've been stuck for a bit, while others point you towards secrets you might have missed in your first 100 hours. What I especially love is that some of these notes have specific conditions attached to them. You might need to reach a certain point in the game or complete a particular milestone before a note will even appear. It turns the in-game into a layered scavenger hunt where new surprises keep unlocking as you progress. It may seem like a small addition, but for someone like me who lives for those little moments of discovery, this mod completely revitalizes that what's going to drop next feeling that fades once you've found all the vanilla notes. Every tree I chop, every monster I slay, every artifact spot I dig up, and every node that I mine now carries a small chance of uncovering something new. It's like the valley decided to share a few more of its secrets with me, and I couldn't be more grateful for it. For this final segment, let's talk about a mod that fills a surprisingly empty niche in the valley. For years, we've had wheat, rice, and that's about it. But what about barley or soups? Oats for a hearty breakfast, rye for a delicious bread? The Grains Overhull mod by Slimmerain finally answers the call of every virtual baker and brewer, adding a whole new layer of depth to your farmer's production. This wonderful mod introduces 6 brand new grain crops to the game: barley, buckwheat, millet, oat, rye, and sorghum, each growing in different seasons and maturing at different rates. It also smartly renames the vanilla unmilled rice to brown rice, and rice to white rice, for a little extra realism. But it's not just about the crops. The magic is in what you do with them. You get 5 new cooking ingredients and 9 new recipes to master, including hearty dishes like Harvest Bowl, overnight oats, blueberry oatmeal, rye bread, and buckwheat waffles. And here's the best part for those of us with massive modded saves. The grains from this mod are designed to work seamlessly with other popular mods. They'll show up in the shops, they'll have their own gift taste for NPCs, and for those of us who use cornucopia sweet and flexible cooking, these new grains can also be used as ingredients in those recipes as well, tying everything together in one delicious ecosystem. A quick but important note for us cornucopia crop users. You'll want to uncheck the grains that overlap between this mod and cornucopia in the config options, so that you don't end up with duplicate versions of the same grains. A little bit of configuration goes a long way toward keeping your farm tidy and your recipes working smoothly. Grains Overhull is a simple addition, but it makes the world of farming and cooking feel that much more richer. And there you have it. 9 essential quality of life mods that have completely transformed my heavily modded Stardew Valley experience. From smarter tree equipment and bigger fridges, to helpful farm assistance and a built-in search function, each of these mods tackles a different little frustration and turns it into pure joy. I hope you found a few new additions for your own farm that make your days smoother, your nights more productive, and your time in the valley just a little more magical. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. It means the absolute world to me and really helps the YouTube algorithm push this video out to more farmers like you. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these mods are you going to try out in your game next? Be sure to leave it in the comments below. I read every single one of your comments and can't wait to talk mods with you guys down below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay cozy and keep those mods updated, my friends. And as always, happy farming!